Sometimes the world will try to drown you out, but in the silence your true power is found. In the midst of your battles, your quiet resilience, your focused energy, this is where breakthroughs happen. The world may not always see your struggle, but believe this, they feel you even from miles away. Your energy speaks volumes, your perseverance echoes beyond what words could ever capture. When you choose to focus on yourself, when you embrace the quiet and the strength within, you step into the life you were always meant to lead. It's in the silence that you find the greatest victory. Victory not over others but over yourself. It's time to realize that this battle, this journey, is not about winning others over. It's about winning within. This is your moment. Silence, in a world constantly filled with noise, is a rare and powerful tool. It may seem counterintuitive at first. How can something so quiet, so seemingly passive, be powerful? But if you take a moment to truly consider it, you will realize that silence is not just the absence of sound. It's the presence of everything you need to hear, feel, and experience in order to grow. In the midst of our loud lives, filled with the chatter of social media, constant communication, and the never-ending demands of the outside world, silence allows us to tap into something deeper, something far more important than the fleeting distractions around us. It's in the silence that we discover our truest thoughts, our deepest desires, and the most profound parts of ourselves that often get lost in the noise. When we choose to embrace silence, we are not shutting out the world. We are opening ourselves to the universe's quiet guidance. It's whispering wisdom that we can't hear when we are too busy, too distracted, or too overwhelmed. It's important to realize that in silence we are not retreating or running away. We are instead creating a sacred space for self-reflection and growth. The world will tell you that you need to be constantly moving, constantly achieving, constantly proving yourself, but that relentless pursuit can drain you. It can leave you disconnected from who you truly are, leaving you feeling lost, anxious, and overwhelmed. In contrast, silence offers the opportunity for self-connection. When you silence the external noise, you give yourself the chance to hear your own voice, the voice that's been drowned out by other people's expectations, by the distractions of society, and by the pressure to always do more, to always be more, to always be more. Often we think we need to rush from one thing to the next, filling our time with activity seeking validation from others, trying to measure up to some external standard. But what if the answers you've been looking for are already within you? What if the path to your breakthrough is not in the hustle but in the pause? When you embrace the stillness, you can finally hear the quiet truths that live deep inside you. Truths about your own potential, your capabilities, and the direction you should be heading in. This is the power of silence. When you choose to focus on yourself in the silence, it doesn't mean you're turning your back on the world or isolating yourself in a negative way. On the contrary, it's the kind of silence that empowers you to be present, fully connected to your own inner strength. It's in this space that you can recharge, recalibrate, and refocus your energy. When the external world gets too loud, when the pressures and stresses of life weigh you down, the power of silence allows you to center yourself, to regain clarity, and to come back stronger than ever. Silence also helps us discover our boundaries. It's easy to get lost in other people's desires, to spread ourselves thin, trying to meet everyone else's needs. But silence offers the clarity to define what you need, what you want, and what you are willing to give. It allows you to say no when necessary and say yes to the things that truly align with your purpose. In silence, you develop a sense of self-respect, the ability to honor your own feelings, and the strength to protect your energy. The quiet moments are often the ones that bring the most profound insights. In the stillness, we start to understand ourselves in ways that can be life-changing. Silence is not emptiness. It is a space filled with possibility. It is fertile ground where our deepest desires can take root, where our dreams can begin to grow, and where our victories are realized long before the world ever sees them. So, next time you feel overwhelmed, next time the world is pushing you to do more, be more, say more, remember that there is incredible power in silence. It's in the silence that you will hear your true voice. It's in the silence that you will find the courage to move forward. It's in the silence that you'll be able to truly connect with the strength within you, to rise above life's challenges, and to move into the next chapter of your life with a sense of clarity and purpose that only silence can provide. The silence is not something to fear. It's a powerful tool for self-discovery, growth and breakthrough. When you embrace it, you embrace the opportunity to be more than what the world expects of you. You embrace the opportunity to be everything you were always meant to be. And in doing so, you'll find the true power of silence, the power to transform your life from the inside out. There is a profound shift that happens when you stop seeking validation from others. It's as though you are no longer tethered to the external world, no longer dependent on others' opinions to determine your worth or direction. Instead, you begin to take full ownership of your life, your choices, and your path. This shift is not something that happens overnight, but over time as you begin to understand that your value doesn't lie in the approval of others. Too often, we find ourselves in a cycle of seeking validation, whether it's from friends, family, peers, or even strangers. We look for the nod of approval, the thumbs up, the affirmation that we're doing the right thing, going in the right direction. But here's the truth, as long as you're relying on the approval of others, you'll always feel uncertain, always feel a little lost. Your worth becomes tied to what others think, and as we all know, opinions can be fickle, constantly changing with the wind. When you stop seeking validation from others, something incredible happens. You begin to realize that your worth is inherent, not something that can be added to or taken away by anyone else. It's not dependent on how others perceive you or how many likes you get on a post. Your worth comes from within, and once you understand this, your life takes on a new dimension. You start making decisions that are in alignment with your own values, your own beliefs, and your own heart. No longer are you trying to fit into a mold that someone else has created for you. You begin to build your own mold, a mold that is uniquely yours, a mold that reflects who you truly are. Letting go of the need for external validation allows you to step into your power. It allows you to trust yourself more deeply and to make choices that are right for you, not for anyone else. Anyone else. When you seek validation from others, you are giving away your power, allowing others to control how you feel about yourself. But when you stop seeking validation, you reclaim that power. You begin to trust your own instincts, your own sense of what is right for you, and you no longer need someone else's approval to feel confident in your choices. In the process, you also become more resilient. You are no longer as affected by criticism, judgment, or rejection because your sense of self-worth is no longer tied to the opinions of others. The more you trust yourself, the less you rely on others' opinions to validate your worth. You start to realize that not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. Not everyone will see your vision or support your dreams, and that's okay too. You are not living your life to please others. You are living it to honor your own path, your own truth, and your own purpose. This shift in mindset leads to personal growth that is profound and transformative. When you no longer seek validation, you open yourself up to true authenticity. You are no longer performing for the world or pretending to be someone you're not. Instead, you embrace who you are at your core, flaws and all, and you become comfortable in your own skin. You stop hiding behind masks or facades and allow yourself to be seen for who you truly are without fear of judgment. In embracing this authenticity, you also create space for genuine connections. When you stop seeking validation, you stop looking for others to fill the void inside you. You begin to fill that void yourself by accepting and loving who you are, just as you are. This sense of self-love radiates outwards and draws people to you who truly resonate with your authentic self. The relationships you build in this space are deeper, more meaningful, and based on real connection, not on a desire for external validation. And in this journey, you will find a new kind of peace. It's the peace that comes from knowing that you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to justify your actions, your dreams, or your choices. You are free to be yourself, to live your life on your terms, and to walk your own path without fear of being judged or criticized. This peace comes from within, and it's something no one can take away from you. The beauty of focusing on yourself and embracing this authenticity is that you start to realize that the power to shape your life has always been within you. You begin to see that your journey is uniquely yours and is not meant to be compared to anyone else's. Your path doesn't need to look like anyone else's for it to be valid. It doesn't need to be approved by anyone else for it to be worthy. When you stop seeking validation from others, You take back control of your life. You become the creator of your own story, and in doing so, you become free. You free yourself from the need to please others, to conform to societal expectations, or to seek approval from people who don't truly understand your journey. You free yourself to live in alignment with your true self, to walk the path that feels right to you, and to trust that the right people and opportunities will come into your life when you stop seeking them. Focusing on yourself. It's not about selfishness, it's about self love. Love. It's about honoring who you are, embracing your own growth, and realizing that you are enough, just as you are. The moment you stop seeking validation from others is the moment you start living for yourself. And that is the moment your life begins to transform in ways you never thought possible. The importance of focus cannot be overstated. In a world that constantly pulls at our attention through distractions, responsibilities, and the unrelenting demands of everyday life, it is easy to lose sight of our true goals, our true thoughts, and the dreams that reside in our life. Focus is the anchor that keeps us grounded, the compass that guides us when the path seems unclear, and the force that propels us towards success and fulfillment. Without focus, we are like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly, susceptible to the winds of doubt, uncertainty, and the whims of others. Focus is not just about concentration in the moment. It is about intentionality in every decision you make. It is about choosing where to place your energy, where to direct your efforts, and where to pour your heart and soul. In a world that constantly demands more of us, true focus requires a deliberate choice to protect our energy and our time. It requires discipline to say no to distractions, to turn off the noise, and to create space for the things that matter most. When you focus on yourself, you are essentially saying that your growth, your dreams, and your well being are worth the investment of your time and energy. You are making a commitment to prioritize your own journey over the external pressures to be everywhere and do everything. This focus is an act of self respect and self love. It means that you are no longer scattering your energy in a thousand different directions. Sticks. Instead, you are being intentional about the things that will help you grow, elevate your life, and get you closer to your vision. The power of focus lies in its ability to cut through the noise and help you concentrate on what truly matters. Life has a way of pulling us in many different directions. We are constantly bombarded by messages about what we should be doing, what success looks like, and how we should be spending our time. But focus helps you filter out all the distractions and return to what is essential. It helps you reclaim your time and energy, allowing you to invest them where they will have the greatest impact. When you focus on yourself, you are saying that your dreams are worth more than the distractions that come your way. True focus requires you to tune out the external noise and listen to your own inner voice. When you are constantly reacting to the world around you, it becomes difficult to hear your own desires, your own intuition, and your own calling. But when you focus on yourself, you are creating the space to listen, to hear your own heart, to connect with your deeper sense of purpose, and to recognize the opportunities that are aligned with your values and your true path. In this space of focus, you become more attuned to the subtle guidance that comes from within, the quiet wisdom that directs you toward the life you were meant to lead. Focus also brings clarity. In the hustle and bustle of life, it is easy to become overwhelmed by the sheer number of choices and decisions that lie before us. There are so many options, so many paths we could take. But when you focus, you gain the clarity to see what truly matters. You can discern between the distractions that pull you off course and the opportunities that align with your highest good. Focus helps you eliminate confusion and make decisions with confidence, knowing that you are aligned with your true purpose. But focus is not just about ignoring the world around you, it's about choosing where to direct your attention. It's about intentionally deciding what you want to invest your energy in. This could mean prioritizing your health, your career, your relationships, or your personal growth. When you focus, you're making a statement about what you value most. It is not about doing everything, it is about doing the right things. It is about investing your energy in areas that will yield the greatest returns in terms of fulfillment, growth, and peace of mind. In addition to clarity, focus also breeds consistency. One of the key factors in achieving success, whatever that looks like for you, is consistency. Focus allows you to stay on track. even when life tries to throw you off course. It helps you stay committed to your goals, to show up each day with purpose, and to keep moving forward even when the road ahead seems difficult. Consistency is the secret ingredient in any journey toward success. It is the difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who give up along the way. Focus keeps you going, day after day, ensuring that you continue to make progress, no matter how small, until you reach your destination. Focus is also about setting boundaries. In a world that is constantly demanding more from us, it is essential to us to have boundaries to protect our time, energy, and attention. This means saying no to things that do not align with your goals or values. It means guarding your mental and emotional space so that you can direct your energy toward the things that matter most. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and self-care. It is recognizing that you are worthy of protection and that your time is precious. Focus helps you establish these boundaries, allowing you to create the space you need to thrive. Another powerful aspect of focus is its ability to help you overcome obstacles. Life is full of challenges, some expected, others completely unexpected, others completely unexpected. But when you are focused, you develop the resilience to face these challenges head on. Instead of getting sidetracked by setbacks, you remain committed to your vision and keep pushing forward no matter what. Focus gives you the strength to persevere, to keep moving toward your goals, even in the face of adversity. It helps you see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable roadblocks. In the end, focus allows you to step into your full potential. When you focus on yourself, when you dedicate your time and energy to the things that matter most, you open the door to extraordinary growth, success, and fulfillment. You begin to realize that everything you need to create the life you desire is already within you. Focus is the key to unlocking your true potential, to harnessing your inner power, and to creating the life you were always meant to live. It is not about doing more, it is about doing the right things with intention, clarity, and consistency. When you focus on yourself, you step into your greatness, and that is where the real magic happens. In a world where the noise of everyday life often drowns out our inner voice, silence becomes a rare and invaluable gift. To truly focus on yourself and embrace silence is to cultivate an inner sanctuary, a space where you can hear your own thoughts, connect with your deepest desires, and reflect on the person you are becoming. Silence is more than just the absence of sound. It is the presence of clarity, the space where true growth begins. It is within this silence that we begin to hear the whispers of our soul, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of who we are and what we are meant to do. 4. Silence is not a passive state. It is an active choice to turn inward, to shut out the noise and distractions of the outside world, and to connect with your own heart and mind. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with information, opinions, and external pressures, silence is an act of rebellion, a conscious decision to carve out space for yourself. In those moments of quiet, we find the room to reflect, to listen, and to discover the truths that are often hidden beneath the surface of our busy lives. When you choose silence, you are choosing to be still. In stillness, you allow yourself to pause, to breathe, and to simply be. This act of being present without the need to do or prove anything is incredibly powerful. It is in the stillness that we reconnect with our own essence, free from the expectations and judgments of others. It is in these quiet moments that we reclaim our energy and clarity, allowing us to move forward with a deeper sense of purpose and intention. The power of silence lies in its ability to help us detach from the constant need for validation from others. In our society, we are often conditioned to seek approval, to measure our worth by the opinions of those around us. But when we choose silence, we remove the external noise that often dictates our decisions and sense of self. In the silence, we are free to hear our own voice, to trust our own instincts, and to make choices that are in alignment with our truest selves. Silence teaches us that we do not need others to define us. We are enough as we are, and we have the power to create our own path. Silence also allows us to process our emotions and thoughts. Life can be overwhelming, and when we are constantly moving, constantly doing, it can be difficult to truly understand what we are feeling. In the chaos of life, our emotions can get lost in the shuffle, suppressed or ignored, in favor of simply keeping up with the pace of the world. But when we embrace silence, we give ourselves permission to feel. We allow ourselves to experience our emotions fully, without judgment or fear. This is an essential part of the healing process. By sitting in silence with our emotions, we gain insight into what we need to heal, what we need to let go of, and what we need to embrace in order to move forward. Silence provides the space for emotional release and renewal, allowing us to emerge stronger, clearer, and more grounded. The act of focusing on yourself in silence is also an opportunity for self reflection. When was the last time you truly sat with yourself and examined your life, your choices, your direction? In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it is easy to become disconnected from who we really are and what we truly want. But in silence, we are invited to reflect on our journey, to ask ourselves the difficult questions and to seek answers within. In this reflective space, we can assess where we are in life, whether we are living in alignment with our values, and what changes need to be made in order to move closer to our goals. Silence is the perfect environment for honest self reflection, where we can confront our fears, acknowledge our strengths, and set our intentions for the future. Additionally, silence fosters deep inner peace. When we are constantly surrounded by noise, both external and internal, it is difficult to experience the peace that comes from simply being. Silence allows us to step away from the distractions that constantly pull at our attention and to connect with the peace that exists within us. In these moments of quiet, we find stillness in our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. This inner peace becomes a foundation upon which we can build resilience, confidence, and clarity. It is from this place of peace that we can approach life's challenges with a calm and focused mind, making decisions with intention and moving through difficult times with strength. The beauty of silence also lies in its ability to help us develop patience. In a fast paced world where instant gratification is often the norm, silence teaches us to slow down, to take our time, and to trust in the process. It helps us realize that not everything needs to be rushed and that growth, healing, and progress take time. Silence allows us to cultivate patience with ourselves, to give ourselves the space to grow at our own pace without the pressure to meet external expectations. When we embrace silence, we begin to understand that life is not a race but a journey, and that each step, no matter how small, is part of the larger picture. By choosing silence, you also open yourself up to creativity. In the absence of external distractions, your mind has the space to wander, to explore new ideas, and to find innovative solutions to problems. Silence is a fertile ground for creative thinking, allowing your mind to relax, process, and form new connections. When you are not constantly bombarded by external stimuli, your brain is free to make connections and discover insights that would otherwise go unnoticed. It is in silence that you can tap into your deepest creativity, uncovering new possibilities and visions for your life. Lastly, silence empowers you to align your actions with your intentions. In the noise of life, it is easy to get swept up in the demands and expectations of others, losing sight of what truly matters to you. But when you embrace silence, you can reconnect with your core values and vision. In this stillness, you can hear your inner voice guiding you toward decisions that reflect your true purpose. This alignment between your thoughts, actions, and intentions creates a sense of harmony in your life, enabling you to move forward with clarity and confidence. The power of silence is transformative. It allows you to listen to yourself, to heal, to grow, and to create. When you focus on yourself and embrace the silence, you open the door to a deeper understanding of who you are and what you are capable of achieving. Silence is not an escape from the world, it is a return to yourself. It is in these moments of quiet reflection that you discover your strength, your purpose, and your capacity to overcome any challenge that life presents. Through silence, you tap into a source of power and peace that is always available to you, guiding you on your journey toward the life you are meant to live. When you make the deliberate choice to focus on yourself, you are essentially choosing to take control of your own narrative. In a world that constantly bombards us with opinions, judgments, and expectations from others, focusing on yourself becomes an act of self-liberation. It is the conscious decision to step away from the crowd and to focus on your own growth, healing, and evolution. This process is not selfish. Rather, it is a vital step toward becoming the person you are truly meant to be. By focusing on yourself, you begin to take responsibility for your life, your happiness, and your future. In the hustle of modern life, it is easy to become lost in the needs and demands of others. Whether it's family, friends, work, or society at large, we are constantly pulled in different directions. The pressure to meet external expectations can sometimes overshadow our own desires and dreams. We may feel like we are caught in a race to satisfy others, often at the expense of our own well being. But when you decide to focus on yourself, you are essentially saying, my happiness, my growth, and my peace matter. Focusing on yourself does not mean neglecting others or being self centered. It means recognizing that in order to give to others, you must first give to yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Self care is not just about pampering yourself, it is about giving yourself the attention, love, and care that you deserve so that you can be the best version of yourself for those around you. When you take the time to nurture your mind, body, and spirit, you are better equipped to face life's challenges, to contribute meaningfully to your relationships, and to pursue your goals with confidence and determination. At the heart of focusing on yourself is the practice of self awareness. When you make the time and space to truly understand who you are, what you want, and what drives you, you begin to see yourself with clarity. Self awareness allows you to tap into your strengths, your weaknesses, your desires, and your fears. This level of understanding is the foundation for personal growth. By becoming more self aware, you gain the power to make conscious choices about the direction of your life. Instead of reacting to circumstances or living according to the expectations of others, you start to make decisions that are aligned with your values and your true purpose. Focusing on yourself also requires you to take a step back and reflect on your past experiences. Every single experience, whether positive or negative, has shaped you into the person you are today. By taking time to reflect, you can understand how these experiences have influenced your beliefs, habits, and patterns. This reflection is not about dwelling on the past, but rather about gaining insight into what you've learned and how you can use that knowledge to create a better future. Reflection helps you to acknowledge where you have been, recognize how far you have come, and appreciate the growth that has taken place along the way. It is a powerful tool for healing, learning, and moving forward with purpose. When you focus on yourself, you give yourself permission to heal. Healing is an essential part of personal growth. It requires time, patience, and a willingness to confront the parts of yourself that may have been hurt, neglected, or overlooked. Focusing on yourself allows you to create the space needed for this healing to take place. Whether you need to heal from past trauma, from a broken relationship, or from the pressures of life, taking the time to focus on your own well being allows you to process these emotions and experiences in a healthy way. Healing is not a linear process, and it may not always be easy, but by choosing to focus on yourself, you are taking the first step toward finding peace and wholeness. Another aspect of focusing on yourself is the ability to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries are essential for maintaining your emotional, mental, and physical well being. Without boundaries, you risk becoming overwhelmed, drained, and resentful. When you focus on yourself, you give yourself the permission to set boundaries that protect your time, energy, and emotional space. You no longer have to say yes to every request, nor do you have to put others' needs above your own. Setting boundaries is a form of self respect, and it allows you to create the space necessary to focus on your growth and happiness. It also helps to foster healthier relationships, as those who truly care about you will respect your boundaries and support you in maintaining them. Focusing on yourself is also a critical step in building your self esteem and confidence. Many people struggle with feelings of inadequacy or self doubt, often because they are constantly seeking external validation or approval. When you focus on yourself, you begin to realize that your worth is not determined by others. Your value comes from within. You are enough just as you are. As you spend more time focusing on your strengths, your accomplishments, and your personal growth, you begin to build a strong foundation of self love and self respect. This inner strength gives you the confidence to pursue your dreams, speak your truth, and take action, knowing that you are worthy of success and happiness. By focusing on yourself, you also create the opportunity to define your own success. In a world where success is often measured by external standards, wealth, status, and achievement, it can be easy to lose sight of what success truly means to you. Focusing on yourself allows you to define success on your own terms. What does success look like for you? What do you want to achieve, not because of societal pressures, but because it aligns with your values and desires? By reflecting on your personal vision of success, you gain the clarity and motivation to pursue your goals with unwavering focus. Moreover, focusing on yourself helps you to cultivate resilience. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and unexpected turns. But when you focus on yourself, you build the mental and emotional strength to face these challenges with grace and perseverance. You begin to see obstacles as opportunities for growth rather than roadblocks. Focusing on yourself gives you the tools to bounce back from adversity, to learn from your failures, and to keep moving forward with determination. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties. It is about facing them head-on with the belief that you have the strength and the resources to overcome them. Finally, focusing on yourself empowers you to create lasting change. Change is inevitable, but true transformation begins from within. When you focus on yourself, you are actively working on becoming the best version of yourself. You are setting goals, developing new habits, and shifting your mindset to align with the person you want to be. This inner work is the foundation for creating lasting change in all areas of your life. Relationships, career, health, and personal growth. By focusing on yourself, you create the momentum needed to make sustainable, positive changes that will elevate your life. When you choose to focus on yourself, you are investing in your future. You are saying that your growth, happiness, and well-being are worthy of your time and energy. By making this choice, you begin to take control of your destiny, stepping into your power, and creating a life that is truly aligned with who you are and what you want. This process may not always be easy, but it is one of the most rewarding journeys you can take. As you focus on yourself, you will discover the strength, wisdom, and resilience that reside within you, and you will realize that you are capable of achieving anything you. When you choose to focus on yourself and remain silent, you create the ideal environment for transformative growth. In a world filled with constant noise, opinions, expectations, judgments, and distractions, it becomes easy to lose sight of your own truth, your own voice. Yet when you embrace silence, you begin to reconnect with yourself in a profound way. In this stillness, you discover the power of your own thoughts and the wisdom that resides within you. This silence is not just the absence of noise. It is a space where clarity can emerge, where your inner strength can rise, and where you can regain control of your life. Staying silent doesn't mean you are passive or disconnected. It is an active choice to be present with your thoughts, emotions, and desires without being influenced by the chaos of the world around you. It is about choosing to listen to yourself rather than to the constant stream of external influences that so often cloud your judgment. In silence, you can hear your true feelings, your needs, and your desires without the noise of other people's opinions drowning them out. This quiet space allows you to reflect deeply on what truly matters to you, helping you to align your actions with your values. Moreover, silence gives you the freedom to process your thoughts and emotions without the pressure of external validation. It's easy to get caught up in seeking approval from others, especially in a world where social media, peer pressure, and societal norms can often dictate how we should feel, think, and act. But silence allows you to break free from this need for approval. In these moments of solitude, you learn to trust your instincts and to honor your feelings. You begin to understand that your thoughts and emotions are valid, regardless of whether others agree with them or not. This newfound trust in yourself is empowering, and it becomes the foundation for making decisions that are truly aligned with your authentic self. Silence also offers you the opportunity to disconnect from the noise of the world and reconnect with your purpose. It is in these moments of quiet that you can ask yourself important questions. What do I want in life? What is my true calling? What am I willing to do to achieve my goals? These are questions that often get buried beneath the clutter of daily life. But when you focus on yourself and allow for silence, you create the space to reflect on your dreams, your goals, and the direction you want your life to take. In this silence, you gain the clarity needed to make decisions that bring you closer to your dreams. You are no longer influenced by the expectations of others or by the noise of the outside world. Instead, you are guided by your own inner compass. In a world that constantly demands more of us, silence can feel like a luxury, yet it is one of the most valuable gifts you can give yourself. In silence, you are free to recharge and restore your energy. Life's challenges can be draining, and without taking time for yourself, you risk burnout and exhaustion. But when you choose silence, you allow yourself the time to rest, to process, and to heal. This act of self care is vital for maintaining your well being and your ability to keep moving forward. By giving yourself the space to rest in silence, you replenish your energy and create the emotional reserves needed to face life's challenges with resilience. Silence also enables you to reflect on your past experiences, not with regret, but with a sense of gratitude for the lessons they have taught you. Every experience, whether it was joyful or painful, has contributed to your growth. However, in the busyness of life, it can be difficult to truly process these experiences and learn from them. Silence allows you to sit with your past, to reflect on the lessons, and to integrate them into your life in a meaningful way. It is in the quiet moments that you can gain wisdom from your struggles and victories alike. By focusing on yourself in silence, you align yourself with your highest purpose, stepping into your power and creating a life of peace, fulfillment, and joy. When you embrace the practice of focusing on yourself and staying silent, you unlock the profound truth that they feel you, even from miles away. This is not just a metaphor, it is a powerful reality rooted in the energy that you project into the world. Often we underestimate the impact our presence has on others. We may think that we need to constantly speak, be visible, and make noise in order to be noticed or to have an effect on those around us. However, true influence often comes from the quiet force of our energy, which can travel far beyond the physical realm. Every individual is an energetic being constantly emitting vibrations, whether they are aware of it or not. These vibrations are not confined to the space we occupy at any given moment, they can transcend time and distance. This is why it is possible for people to feel your energy even when you are not physically present. When you focus on yourself, when you intentionally work on your growth, your healing, and your inner peace, that energy becomes magnetic. It has the power to resonate with those who are meant to cross your path, and it reaches them even when you are not actively engaging with them. It is a silent influence that speaks louder than any words could ever do. There is a unique power in staying silent and focusing on yourself because it allows you to harness the energy within you and channel it in a way that does not rely on external validation. In our fast paced, constantly connected world, it's easy to get caught up in the need to be seen and heard. Social media, instant communication, and the constant influx of information can make us feel like we need to be constantly visible in order to make an impact. But in truth, the most powerful change often begins in the unseen, the silent spaces of our lives. By focusing on your own growth, healing, and development, you begin to cultivate an energy that cannot be ignored, even when you are not physically present. This quiet yet powerful energy can influence the people around you in ways you may not even realize. Have you ever experienced a moment when someone entered the room and you could instantly feel their energy? Perhaps it was someone who radiated calm and peace, or maybe someone who brought an undeniable sense of confidence and strength. This energy is not dependent on words or actions, it is the essence of who that person is, and it leaves a lasting impression. When you focus on yourself, you develop this very energy. The way you carry yourself, the way you interact with the world, and the way you live your life become a silent message to others. They begin to feel the changes within you, even from afar. The power of this energy is especially noticeable when you are going through periods of personal growth. As you work on your inner transformation, you may not always be vocal about it, but people around you will start to notice your increased sense of peace, your confidence, your ability to stay calm in the face of adversity. These are qualities that radiate outwardly, affecting those around you. Even if you are not speaking, your presence speaks volumes. People will feel drawn to you, not because of what you say, but because of the energy you are emitting. This is the power of focusing on yourself and allowing your growth to become your most powerful statement. It's also important to remember that staying silent is not about shutting yourself off from the world. It's about being intentional with your energy and your presence. When you focus on yourself, you begin to develop an awareness of how your energy interacts with others. You become more mindful of the impact your actions, words, and even your silence have on the people around you. Silence, when used consciously, becomes a form of communication. It is a space where others can feel the depth of who you are without needing to say a word. This creates a powerful, unspoken connection with others that can transcend any distance between you. In relationships, this is particularly impactful. Often people seek connection through constant communication and interaction, but the deepest connections are sometimes made in the silence. When you focus on yourself and cultivate inner peace, you begin to attract people who are also on a journey of personal growth, These relationships are often built on a deep unspoken understanding where both individuals can sense each other's energy even when they are not speaking. The silent exchange of energy creates a bond that words alone could never achieve. And this connection is felt regardless of the physical distance between you. When you are focused on your own growth, the people who are meant to be in your life will feel your energy and will be drawn to you even from miles away. The ability to communicate through energy is not just limited to close relationships, it extends to the broader universe. As you focus on your own development, you align yourself with your highest purpose, and this alignment sends out a frequency into the world that attracts opportunities, people, and situations that resonate with your inner truth. You may not see the immediate results, but trust that the universe is responding to your energy. Your inner work, your commitment to growth, and your dedication to becoming the best version of yourself will be felt by the world, even if it is not immediately visible. The more you focus on your own healing and transformation, the more you attract those who are aligned with your journey, even if they are far away. Staying silent and focusing on yourself also allows you to become more in tune with your intuition. Silence creates the space for you to hear the whispers of your inner wisdom, guiding you toward the right people, the right opportunities, and the right decisions. This intuitive guidance is often subtle, and it requires you to be in a place of stillness to truly hear it. As you tune into your own energy, you begin to trust yourself more deeply, knowing that you are being guided toward the right path. This deep connection with your own intuition also allows you to sense the energy of others, even from a distance. You become more attuned to the vibrations of people, places, and situations, helping you navigate life with greater ease and confidence. The more you focus on yourself and embrace silence, the stronger your sense of self becomes. You begin to trust your own energy and your own presence. You stop seeking validation from others and start to validate yourself. Your energy becomes a reflection of your inner strength and your unwavering belief in your own worth. And when you stand in this power, others will feel it too, whether they are near or far. Your presence becomes magnetic, drawing the right people and opportunities toward you. In conclusion, when you choose to focus on yourself and stay silent, you activate a powerful force that transcends physical boundaries. Your energy speaks louder than any words ever could, and it can be felt by others even when you are not physically present. This silent influence creates connections that are deeper, more meaningful, and more aligned with your true purpose. The more you invest in your own growth, the more you radiate the energy of your transformation. And the more you attract those who resonate with your journey. You are not just seen through your actions or your words, you are felt even from miles away. And in this stillness, you discover the profound truth that your energy, your presence, and your growth are the most powerful forces in your life. The journey to focusing on yourself and staying silent holds an incredible power. It creates an intentional, transformative space for you to build an inner world that is grounded in peace, strength, and purpose. This is the magic that happens when you learn to tune out the noise and distractions around you, those pressures from society, family, and even the noise of your own mind. When you choose silence, you are not withdrawing from the world. Instead, you are choosing to step into a space where you can hear your own thoughts clearly, where your soul can express itself without the interference of others' expectations. In this silence, you begin to hear your own inner voice, which is your truest guide, free from the influence of others. In the silence, you also create the foundation for self acceptance. Society often teaches us that we must constantly prove ourselves, be seen, and be heard in order to be valued. We are bombarded with messages that make us feel like we need to be constantly on, to be busy, and to be striving for success at all times. But the truth is that success doesn't always look like hustle and noise. Sometimes success is about having the courage to step back, to stop chasing the external, and to focus inwardly. It's about acknowledging your worth without needing validation from others. Silence creates the opportunity to be fully present with yourself, to accept where you are in your journey, and to love yourself fully as you are. This self acceptance is a key ingredient in personal growth. When you accept yourself as you are, imperfections, struggles, and all, you release the pressure to be perfect. You understand that growth doesn't require you to be flawless, it requires you to be real. In silence, you give yourself the space to embrace all parts of yourself without judgment. You allow yourself to process your emotions, heal past wounds, and come to terms with who you truly are. This is when transformation begins. The acceptance of your true self is the most powerful catalyst for change. Once you stop fighting who you are, you begin to create the space for your potential to unfold. Furthermore, silence teaches you the art of mindfulness. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to get swept up in the rush, to live on autopilot without fully experiencing the present moment. Amen. When you focus on yourself and embrace silence, you create the opportunity to become fully present in your life. This means experiencing each moment as it comes, without distractions or judgments. In silence, you cultivate an awareness of your thoughts, your emotions, and the world around you. You begin to notice things you may have previously overlooked. The beauty in a simple moment, the richness of your relationships, and the subtle messages your body is sending you. This mindfulness allows you to respond to life with greater clarity, purpose, and intention, rather than reacting out of habit or emotion. You also give yourself the space to reconnect with your purpose. Life can sometimes feel overwhelming, especially when you are juggling multiple responsibilities and trying to keep up with the expectations of others. But in the midst of this chaos, it's easy to lose sight of why you're doing what you're doing. Silence gives you the opportunity to reflect on your goals and the direction of your life. You can ask yourself profound questions like, what do I really want out of life? What is my true calling? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? These questions, which often get buried beneath the noise of everyday life, find their answers in the silence. In this space, you are able to reconnect with your heart's deepest desires and realign yourself with your true purpose. In this way, focusing on yourself and embracing silence can act as a form of spiritual nourishment. Just as the body needs physical food to thrive, the soul requires moments of stillness to recharge and grow. Silence is like the water that nourishes a plant. When you remove distractions, you allow yourself to hear the whispers of your soul, guiding you on your path. These moments of quiet reflection help you reconnect with the deeper part of yourself, the part that is aligned with your true essence. You begin to remember who you are beyond your external circumstances. In silence, you are reminded of your inherent worth and divinity, and you begin to trust the process of life more fully. As you embrace silence and focus on yourself, you also develop the strength to weather life's storms with grace. Life is full of challenges, and at times it can feel like everything is falling apart. But when you have spent time cultivating inner peace through silence, you begin to develop an unwavering strength. The storms of life no longer have the power to shake you to your core because you have rooted yourself in a place of stillness. You have learned to remain calm in the face of adversity, trusting that the challenges you face are part of your growth. The strength that comes from silence is not the strength of brute force, but the strength of resilience, an inner quiet power that can withstand any external turmoil. Silence also teaches you the importance of letting go. When you focus on yourself, you start to identify the things in your life that are no longer serving you. Old habits, toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, and past hurts. The process of letting go is essential for personal growth. In silence, you give yourself the space to examine these areas of your life and release anything that is holding you back. This act of letting go is not a form of weakness, but a sign of inner strength. It requires courage to walk away from what no longer serves you and to make space for new opportunities, people, and experiences. When you let go, you create room for new beginnings and fresh perspectives. Silence also cultivates a deep sense of gratitude. When life gets busy, it's easy to take things for granted. We forget to appreciate the small moments, the simple blessings that we often overlook. But in silence, you become more attuned to the beauty of the present moment. You begin to notice the little things, the smile of a stranger, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of birds chirping in the morning. These small moments become more meaningful when you take the time to slow down and be present with them. Gratitude begins to flow naturally when you embrace silence, and this sense of appreciation elevates your life. You realize that everything you need is already within you and around you. When you focus on yourself and choose silence, you also develop the ability to build stronger, more meaningful relationships. This is not about constantly being available to others or giving of yourself until you are empty. Instead, it's about learning to be fully present with others when you are with them. When you have spent time focusing on yourself and nurturing your own growth, you can show up for others in a deeper, more authentic way. Your relationships become more authentic because you are no longer seeking to fulfill your own needs through others. You are not relying on others to make you feel whole. Instead, you are offering them the fullness of your own being. This shift creates stronger, more connected relationships that are based on mutual respect and shared growth. In addition to this, silence enhances your creativity. The mind is often cluttered with thoughts and distractions that limit our ability to think clearly and creatively. But when you embrace silence, you create the mental space needed for new ideas and inspiration to emerge. In silence, your mind is free to wander, to explore new possibilities, and to make connections that may not have been apparent before. Creativity flourishes in this space of quiet reflection, allowing you to solve problems more effectively and approach life with fresh perspectives. Ultimately, focusing on yourself and embracing silence is about reclaiming your power. It is about realizing that you don't need to prove yourself to anyone, and you don't need to constantly be visible in order to have a profound impact. The power of your energy, your presence, and your growth is felt long before you even say a word. In silence, you connect with the deepest part of yourself, and in doing so, you become a more powerful force in the world, one that moves through life with clarity, confidence, and grace. By choosing silence, you choose to align with your highest self, and that is where true transformation begins. When you focus on yourself and stay silent, you may not realize the far reaching impact of your energy. It's easy to think that visibility, constant interaction, and vocalizing your thoughts are the keys to making a mark in the world, but there is an undeniable power in silence. The truth is, your energy, when cultivated through silence and self focus, is something that others can feel, even from miles away. This feeling is not a mere coincidence, nor is it a product of wishful thinking. It's a force that operates on a deeper level of human connection. We live in a world where external validation is often considered a measure of success, whether it's the number of likes on a post, the applause after a speech, or the recognition at work. We are conditioned to seek acknowledgement from others. But in reality, the most powerful moments of influence and impact are often those where you aren't seeking validation at all. When you focus on yourself and choose silence, you enter a realm of existence where your presence is no longer tied to external approval. Oh, you start to move through the world with a quiet confidence that doesn't require applause to feel validated. It's in these moments of self assurance, when you are least focused on seeking validation, that the universe begins to respond to your energy in ways you may not even comprehend. It's important to understand that energy is contagious. The energy you emit doesn't stop when you leave the room. It continues to reverberate, influencing others even when you are not present. Think of it like a ripple in a pond. When you drop a stone into the water, the ripple doesn't just affect the spot where the stone landed. It spreads outward, touching every part of the water around it. Your energy works in the same way. When you focus on yourself, when you are at peace with who you are, and when you are silently walking in alignment with your purpose, that energy extends outward. It affects people in ways that go far beyond words and actions. It doesn't matter if they are near you or miles away, they will feel it. They will feel your presence, your peace, your authenticity. The silent influence doesn't come from a place of manipulation or force. It comes from the simple, raw energy of being true to yourself. When you are genuinely at peace, when you work through your own doubts and fears, that peace radiates from you. Others feel it without you having to do anything. This is why sometimes when you encounter people who are truly at ease with themselves, it's as if you can't help but feel drawn to them. It's as if their very existence is magnetic. Not because they are putting on a performance, but because they're fully immersed in their own self awareness and truth. This is the power of focusing on yourself and staying silent. You begin to create a space for your energy to become an active force in the world without you needing to speak, to strive, or to chase. Your growth, your healing, and your transformation start to shape the world around you. And the best part is you don't need to chase after recognition. The people who are meant to see you, to feel your energy, will naturally be drawn to it. It's the law of attraction at its purest form. When you align with who you truly are, when you walk in your own truth and do the internal work, you begin to attract the right people, situations, and opportunities into your life. They feel you even from miles away because your energy is aligned with the essence of who you are. But this journey of focusing on yourself and staying silent is not an easy one. It requires discipline, patience, and a commitment to self awareness. In a world that constantly encourages you to be busy, loud, and visible, the act of choosing silence can feel uncomfortable, even countercultural. Yet, in that silence, you are able to reconnect with your true self. The silence is not about shutting out the world, but rather about tuning into your inner world, your desires, your thoughts, your feelings, and your purpose. In doing so, you gain clarity, you gain direction. You learn to trust your intuition and your inner wisdom, which become the compass guiding you through life's challenges. Staying silent also gives you the power to observe and understand the world around you with more depth. In the quiet moments, you are able to see things you may have missed when you were too caught up in external noise. You begin to notice the subtle shifts in the energy of the people around you, the nuances in the atmosphere of different places, and the deeper layers of meaning in the things you hear. Silence helps you cultivate a profound awareness that allows you to make better decisions, navigate relationships more effectively, and seize opportunities that align with your true purpose. The deeper you focus on yourself, the more in tune you become with the world around you. Your energy becomes sharper and more refined. The external world may still be loud and chaotic, but you will have built a solid foundation within yourself that no external noise can disturb. You will be able to sit in the storm of life's challenges and remain centered. This is because through silence you learn to build a connection with yourself that is unshakable. You start to trust your inner voice, knowing that it will never lead you astray. And as you continue on your journey of self discovery and growth, you will begin to feel a deeper sense of peace and purpose that transcends any external circumstances. In addition to this, focusing on yourself and staying silent allows you to distance yourself from negative influences. Many people find themselves weighed down by the expectations, judgments, and criticisms of others. Whether it's a toxic work environment, a judgmental family member, or a friend who doesn't fully understand your journey, the opinions of others can drain your energy and cloud your vision. But when you choose silence and focus on your own growth, you create a shield around yourself. You stop letting the negativity of others affect you because you are no longer seeking their approval or validation. This doesn't mean you become cold or indifferent. It means that you learn to set healthy boundaries and prioritize your own mental, emotional, and spiritual well being. The silent power of focusing on yourself extends to all areas of your life, your career, your relationships, your personal development. Your career may start to flourish because you are operating from a place of clarity and confidence. Your relationships may improve because you are no longer seeking validation from others and instead you show up as your authentic self. Your personal development accelerates because you are giving yourself the space and time to heal, grow, and evolve at your own pace without comparison or pressure. Ultimately, the process of focusing on yourself and staying silent is not about withdrawing from the world. It's about recalibrating your inner compass so that you can engage And because you are so aligned with your authentic self, you become an example for others to do the same. You no longer need to tell people how to live. Your life becomes the message. Your growth, your resilience, and your inner peace will inspire others to pursue their own journeys of self-discovery. When you are focused on yourself, you develop a deep sense of self-respect and self-love that radiates outward. The way you carry yourself, the way you treat others, and the way you move through the world will speak volumes. People will feel the energy you radiate. They will feel your confidence, your peace, and your unwavering commitment to your own growth. And even though you may not be speaking to them directly, your presence will leave a lasting impression. Your energy will encourage others to take a step back and reassess their own lives. It will inspire them to stop seeking external validation and start looking within for the answers they need. The true power of focusing on yourself is that it gives you the space to heal and grow without the pressure of external expectations. We all carry wounds, fears, and insecurities that we may not even be fully aware of. But when you focus on yourself and embrace silence, you create the space to heal. You allow yourself to confront these internal struggles and work through them at your own pace. You no longer have to perform or pretend to be something you're not. You can just be. And in this being, in this quiet acceptance of yourself, healing begins. Staying silent and focusing inward also allows you to develop the patience required for real growth. Change doesn't happen overnight, and transformation isn't a quick fix. It's a slow, steady process that requires time, commitment, and a willingness to face the discomfort that comes with change. When you focus on yourself, you stop looking for instant gratification or quick results. Instead, you embrace the journey, knowing that every small step forward is progress. With time, you begin to see the results of your efforts. You become stronger, more resilient, and more confident in your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. One of the most powerful things that happen when you focus on yourself and remain silent is that you begin to understand that you are enough just as you are. You stop seeking approval from others, and instead you learn to give yourself the validation and recognition that you deserve. You begin to acknowledge your own worth, your own accomplishments, and your own progress. This self-recognition becomes a source of strength and motivation. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself to others because you already know who you are and what you bring to the table. In silence, you become more attuned to your own needs. You begin to listen to your body, your mind, and your spirit in ways you might not have before. You understand that self-care isn't just about pampering yourself. It's about truly tuning into what you need on a deeper level. When you focus on yourself, you are able to make decisions that are in alignment with your values and priorities. You no longer feel obligated to please others or put their needs above your own. You become your own advocate, your own protector, and your own greatest supporter. In moments of silence, you also develop the resilience needed to face the challenges that life presents. When you are focused on yourself, you realize that setbacks and obstacles are a part of the journey, not a reflection of your worth or abilities. You understand that failure is not something to fear, but an opportunity for growth. You learn to embrace difficulties as a way to strengthen your character and refine your vision. As you grow stronger in your own self-awareness, you begin to handle challenges with a sense of calm and confidence that comes from knowing that you can weather any storm. Ultimately, when you focus on yourself and embrace silence, you create a life that is not only fulfilling but also deeply meaningful. You are no longer chasing after things that don't serve you or trying to please others at the cost of your own well-being. Instead, you are living in alignment with your true self, and this authenticity becomes a magnet for everything you need. The right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances will find you, and they will feel you even from miles away. Because in that silence, you are no longer just existing, you are radiating a quiet, powerful energy that will change the world around you